Hello YouTube, what's up? My name is Chicken Fried Rice, and today we are going to be playing some Ruse. This is going to be a 4 versus 4 game on the map Strategist. I am going to be playing as Italy because this is going to be the Italian strategy guide for Ruse. Italy, if you guys might be surprised to hear this, is probably the third best country in Ruse. I find, and my friends agree with this. So, first thing you want to do, as you do with every country, 3 supply depots, because going 1 depot or 0 depot rushes never works. And what you want to do is start up with 1 barracks and 1 tank base. What you want to do right away is pump out a bit of light infantry if you have any strategical objectives to take. Like here, I want to make a foothold on this guy's area. So I pump out some light infantry, take the city, and send some recon infantry there and there. And once that is done, you want to make sure that you upgrade to your heavy infantry, because Italy has relatively inexpensive upgrade for heavy infantry. It's only $25. The problem with this is they don't have the best heavy infantry in the game. But once you do that, what you want to do right after is upgrade in your armor base. You want to upgrade your M11 tanks to M15 tanks, because the M15s are just that much better. And if you don't do this, well, then you'll suffer greatly when trying to attack the enemy. Now, if you look at my enemy, you will see what not to do when playing as Germany. He has 2 supply depots, which is always a big no-no. You always want to get your 3 supply depots, and he has a prototype base. So pretty much he's doing everything you don't want to do in the first 3 minutes of the game of Ruse. Pretty much that's all he's done, is do the wrong things. So what I'm going to do next is I am currently upgrading to heavy infantry, and I am in the process of making some M15 tanks. Now, if you notice, the enemy is attempting to secure the middle of the map, which is a very good job what they're doing, because that's the same exact idea we were doing, and by controlling the middle of the map on Strategist, you also control the middle economies. So let's go back to my view. So if you notice, this guy's made 1 win for whatever you want to call these, wearable. Okay, I'm not going to try pronouncing it. But anyways, so he has I marked it to my allies. And I make a couple of M15 tanks. In the meantime, what I do is I pump out a bit of heavy infantry, and I'm going to flank here and capture his prototype base and cause him to blow it up. By doing this, first of all, I take away $100 from his unit production, and keeps him distracted on the front. So, as you can tell, I'm making some M15 tanks, and the M15 tanks are relatively fast and inexpensive to produce. So I make a couple of those, and then I start moving in, and it's not long before I realize that he has Puma advanced recon vehicles, so that's not something you want to be going up against too much. So my tanks are moving in, and using my recon infantry I can tell what's happening there, but I see that this guy over here has got some stuff going on. So what you want to do in this case is you regroup your tanks, get some recon on the enemy, and then push with a Fanti. And if you don't know what a Fanti is, well, it stands for fanaticism. Now, I don't know why you wouldn't know that, but you never know. For some reason, some people don't do that. So, my enemy surprises me with a mouse super heavy tank. But I am not worried at all, because you know what? I've got my M50. Well, actually, I'm a little worried. So I pull out my M15s. Well, what's left of them. I've got 1 M15 left. And then I regroup a new M15 force in front. Now, he's made like 3 of these prototype anti-air guns. And I don't know why he's doing this, but he's pretty fucking stupid, because there's only one of our guys there, and he's focusing on taking over the middle. In the meantime, I have 6 M15s, which can easily take on, well, maybe not easily. It says high danger when I try to, but they can take on a mouse heavy tank. So once I realize that if I'm going to beat this guy, I'm going to need either more advanced weaponry, which would be a prototype base, or just make a lot more tanks. So right here, what I do is I go for a rush on his prototype base. Now, I wasn't able to capture his HQ, but if I would have captured his HQ, it would have been devastating. Now, every time you play Ruse, you always have to build a barracks at least once you're 10 minutes in the game, because if they capture your building like this, well, not this one, but if they capture your HQ, you want to be able to capture it back. Now, I wasn't able to grab the HQ as well, but if I would have, that would have been the end of the game for this guy. And all he does is build another prototype base. Although prototype bases cost $100 for Germany, which is less than other countries, that doesn't mean that he is not going to lose any money. This is going to have a significant impact on his economy because he just spent $100 rebuilding this prototype base that I forced him to blow up himself. So great news. And what did it cost me? Let's see, $25 worth of infantry. Wow, for 100. I say that is a very fair trade-off. So right here you can see I've got a couple tanks, but what I'm going to start doing now is, since I realized the only way to overwhelm this guy is by having a superior economy, which I already have, but I'm going to expand that economy. I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to make a building depot. Now, what the hell is this? I think it might be an anti-tank base, which I'm not going to end up using. And next things I'm going to do is I'm going to get this supply depot, that supply depot, and this supply depot, and get my economy straight on track and start kicking some ass. Now, the reason why I put a flare there is to mark to my ally that there was a prototype base back there. So now all this guy has are 2 rocket launcher, I don't know what those are called, 2 prototype anti-air, 1 armored recon, his other one is all the way over there, and 2 Mao's super heavy tank. Now all I have is 10 M15 tanks, which is not that much considering what I'm going up against, and I'm going to need more. But first thing you want to do is make sure you have the superior economy in this situation if you want to be able to kick the enemy's ass. So I'm really not doing anything right now. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Did I? No. I have no idea what's happening. I have my tanks here. He's starting to move in with his armored recon, trying to intimidate me, but I can easily take him out. All he wanted to do is get rid of my armored recon, which gave me a visual on his unit. So by doing that, well, he removed my eyes and my ears. But what he does is, once again, he should have learned first time to leave this open, because now all I do is sneak this recon in over there, and I just keep spying on all his shit because he doesn't realize that I have a recon over there. Now you can see I have these 2 trucks over here. This supply depot, and that is a supply depot as well. So I'm really going to get my economy into gear, because by doing that, well, basically I'm just setting myself to win the game, because if you have more money, well, you're in a better position. Already that my allies right here are going through this guy's base slowly and surely. Mobius Strip here is just pummeling this guy. Now I don't know what he was doing, because he could have just punched through on this side, but he decided not to do that. And in the meantime, if you look over here, well, there's nothing much happening. I've got my 2 supply depots and a third. No, this is a secondary HQ. And I'm building a secondary HQ because I'm going to try and flank him while pushing through on the same time. So he's going to be completely surrounded. So we have an air battle going on in the middle of the map for air superiority. But the person that was doing air for the enemy team was in fact the Russian player, and Russia is not the best for air superiority. It gives you a cheap air superiority. It does not give you the best, and that is one thing for sure, so you want to be careful about those things. Now right here, I decide, okay, time to make my move, and I just start stacking up 15 tanks. Now in the meantime, this guy back here is making admins. Now when someone is going admins, what you want to do is be aggressive, because they're going to be on the defensive strategy, which means they're going to have the minimum amount of units up just to make you think that they have a lot of units, which they never do. So what I'm doing right now is I'm pumping out a crap load of M15 tanks, and if you want to increase the production, you build a secondary. But what I'm going to do here is build a supply depot here, and then build another tank base. But as you can tell, I was constantly pumping him out there for a short while, and it doesn't seem to be, actually, I'm just not going to stop pumping out M15 tanks. Now for this guy, if we look at what he has, let's go in camp neutral here. Wait, no, there we go. So he has three heavy mouse tanks, and as you can tell, I have my recon on his base here, so that's always good to have that. And he has two admins back here, so that tells me that he's going for more a he's hoping that the game will last long. But what he doesn't know about our gang here is that we don't like it when games last longer than a half hour to an hour. So what we're going to do is make sure he doesn't get that opportunity to use the admins and his prototype weapons. So my giant stack of M15 tanks are starting to roll in. I've got another supply depot and another armory base. Now what you do in these cases is when you're playing as Italy, you do not have technologically superior units than the other team. So what you want to do is you want to go for you want to be able to swarm them, because that's the only thing Italy can do. They can make mass quantity very cheaply. So what you do is first you build your supply depots, then you secure a foothold, then you expand your supply chain as far as you can, because by doing so you're giving yourself the only advantage you can have. And once you do that, well, then you can just tear right through a whole entire enemy team as Italy by yourself. So as you can tell right here, I've got my huge amount. I've got like 18 M15 tanks, and I've got more coming in on the flank. So this guy is completely surrounded now. He's got his 3 mouse tanks, but mouse tanks takes 2 shots from one M15. So no matter how many he's going to start picking off, I'm still going to be able to get in close enough and start picking off. Now, I did sustain casualties, but that is the thing with Italy. You're going to sustain casualties, and what you have to do is you have to use your cheap units to your advantage. And if you don't upgrade to M15 tanks, then you will truly lose the game, because their unupgraded medium tanks are not effective, and their M15s themselves have their limits. But they have also their positives over the tanks that weren't upgraded. So you're coming in, and you always want to have some infantry to be able to capture the base. And this is as simple as it goes. If you look in the middle, you have these guys doing their deal. Air War, and pretty much Mobius Strip and the others now have air dominance over the area, and they're using decoy units as well to help intimidate the enemy. And check this out. This guy's got the base, he's doing everything, and pretty much this guy's screwed. So he lost his main base. Mobius is crushing him on the outside as well. So this game is really just going very smoothly, because you have IS-2s moving down the middle, and you have this guy's massive Izir Bye-Bye has a massive air force. Let's count the airfields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 airfields. That is a massive amount of airfields for well, actually, not this late in the game, but he has a very, very strong air force. And now, what I do is I don't waste any time at the starting to move my troops towards Sun Tzu, whatever that guy's name is over there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start moving in my troops there. I'm going to send some infantry, and I used the enemy's prototype base, which I captured. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to send some prototype tanks out here, and I'm going to start spreading out my units a bit more and start moving more like a wall at the place of just a big blob. And you want to be able to spread out like that, because or else the enemy can flank you, and being able to flank the enemy is a great advantage. Now right here was the enemy's missing armored recon from earlier on in the game. Luckily for me, there was only one, so my advanced heavy tanks, which were the tanks sorry guys, the tanks that I can't pronounce. The tanks that I am producing from the prototype base I captured, so I'm sending those out. And the thing with Italy's prototype weapons, if you ever get in a pickle where you need higher level units, do go for a prototype base, because for Italy, prototype units the advanced heavy tanks are only $25 a piece. Now, they're not the best you go 10 of these against 10 Pershings or 10 IS-2s, and obviously you're going to lose. But you have to work with what you have, with what you get. So I'm taking down Sun Tzu, or however you want to call him, and I am taking down the rest of these guys while my allies, Agony Green and Is Your Bye Bye are doing the work, as well as Mobius Strip. So as usual, guys, thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next time.